Hi there, it's Thursday. It's my live on my Botanic Me page. This is Tanya Uester. And Botanic Me, of course, being an alchemy of soothing botanic ingredients. We have reached a milestone, I should say. Today is the last day in my body support system series. Oh, I can see people are coming in. I'm just going to wave. So today is going to be the last episode in this specific body system support series. Something really exciting starting again next week. I will continue to do lives every Thursday at 12, but we will be switching gears slightly. So let's just do a brief recap of what we have discussed in the last episode. So we are coming full circle. Hello, Catherine. Welcome. We are coming full circle. And the reason for that is my very first episode in this body system support series actually started with mental health. And I'm just going to sort of run through a recap of all the various episodes and then also list a single essential oil or a blend of an essential oil, which is my favorite to support that specific body system. Hello, Jerry. How are you? Welcome. All right, so for today, on that recap, the first one, as I said, was called Where is My Mind? And it was all about mental health. And my favorite single essential oil to support good mental health is, of course, frankincense. And then close second after that, you can either do two blends. I like both blends. And this is from, obviously, my favorite essential oil supplier. But you may have your own essential oil supplier, and then for that reason, just go back to watch these episodes on my YouTube channel so that you can hear what single essential oils are in those blends, because then you're very equipped to go and make your own one as well. Hello, Chantal. Welcome. Hi, Trish. Glad you could join today. So for that very first one in the episode, my single essential oil favorite for mental health is frankincense, and then my favorite blends, Citrus Bliss, which is a combination of various citrus oils, and then obviously also Adaptive, which is doTERRA's blend, which helps you or supports you to adapt to life's situations a little bit better. Then in episode 2, we chatted about the nervous system, and there my favorite single essential oil is definitely Helichrysum, because it's really supportive to all things to do with the nervous system. Hello, Rihanna. Welcome. The episode after that, we talked about, there was actually two. There was a part 1 and a part 2 about the integumentary system. And this is where your hair, skin, nails, all those kind of sections in your body sort of come together. And I've got a couple of essential oils here because it's not just only one region, right? So for single essential oils, definitely frankincense, rosemary, especially for the hair, and lavender, really good for skin soothing. And then if you are looking for an all-in-one solution blend, go and reach for doTERRA's Immortelle. Then we move to the circulatory system. So this is all the things red. The reason I didn't go and study medicine. So for all things circulatory, my favorite is single essential oil is cypress. And then one, if you're looking for a ready-to-use solution blend, definitely go and reach for doTERRA's Deep Blue Soothing Blend. Musculoskeletal system. Again, we looked at various essential oils that are going to be offering analgesic properties to soothe discomfort. And here, I think my favorite single essential oil is definitely Copahiba. And then if you're going to go for some blends, you can go and look at doTERRA's Deep Blue Soothing Blend again, and then Past Tense, one of my favorites. Then we moved over to the endocrine system, which is the hormone system. So here, single essential oil that is my favorite for the endocrine system support is definitely Clary Sage. And if you're looking for a blend with additional oils in there that's going to support your endocrine system, reach for Clary Calm. Then we switched over to respiratory health, and that was a really relevant at that time, and it still is because of the pollen and the dust that's out there with the seasons at the moment. And definitely single essential oils that I really love for respiratory support are quite a couple. I'm not going to name just one. Peppermint, eucalyptus, rosemary, and tea tree are my favorites. And then if you want to go for a ready-to-use solution or a blend, go and look at doTERRA's Breeze or Air. And just coincidentally, if you are not with doTERRA and you're not interested in purchasing doTERRA, it's really not an issue. But do go and do yourself a favor and just go onto the doTERRA.com website, because then you'll go and see when you type in these blend names that I've been giving you to see what their single essential oil constituents are in there, because then you can make your own blend. Really nifty. And then obviously one of my absolute favorites, we did that 2 weeks in a row. So there were 2 episodes. and that was for digestive support. Okay, and digestive support is just something that I'm really fascinated about, because it's obviously something that I have really struggled with in my life. Okay, so we finished that, and the second one was all about cooking and how to use essential oils in cooking. And I think digestive support, if I had to choose only one single essential oil that can assist, it's definitely lemon, because it's so really good at helping the body to detox naturally. And then obviously my last puzzle piece that sorted out my gut health after 40 years of struggles is definitely doTERRA's Zengest Digestive Blend. So that was sort of a recap of all the episodes we've had to date. And today we are going to go full circle and go back to the mind part. Because although digestive support is literally involved in every single body system in your body, and making sure that everything works like clockwork, I think the only other thing that is sort of hand in hand with digestive support is mental health, because I don't think most people know what we are doing to our bodies. I know, because I can feel the symptoms, but most people don't actually know what a powerful effect their emotions and their mental state actually has on their emotions during the day, but more than that, also how they are feeling physically. So I'm unfortunately one of those people that stores all my emotions and my stress and my anxiety inside my body, and it usually presents with things like eczema, so skin reactions. I get very sore, achy joints and muscles. So I know, for instance, certain parts in the right hand side of my body, certain joints ache more, I have more discomfort when I've been going through a really stressful period in my life. And I know then, for those, when these things happen, I need to go and reassess what's going on in my mind, because I'm also really good at just putting it aside, and because I am really resilient and just try and move forward despite all the obstacles, I don't always deal that well with emotions, okay, because I don't process them, I don't give them enough attention, and that's obviously why they are presenting in the form of discomfort in my body. So definitely something that I need to improve on myself as well. So let's just look at what our feelings and our things are going to be able to do in our bodies, and how we can change that over to be very positive. And then obviously, with the helping hand of certain essential oils, how you can support your body to be a little bit more stable. Because I'm not saying we need to be robots, by absolute no means. We cannot function like robots and have absolutely no emotion and have no effect on negative things that are happening around us or even in our minds, because then we also won't get excited about anything. Can you imagine how boring life would be? That is what makes life. That is how we go about doing daily things, is being excited about something, or sometimes getting really irritated or annoyed or angry about something else. But it's how we process those feelings in the end that's really going to assist or break down our bodies. So anxious feelings and essential oils. Feelings of unease or worry can be very helpful, because they can motivate you to take positive steps and solve problems. So it's that fight or flight. Sorry, there was an L in both of those words. But they can be really detrimental to you if it's preventing you from experiencing joy. And not just mentally, it's also going to cause quite a lot of physical, I shouldn't say defects, but physical attributes in your body, which may cause discomfort, like it does for me in my life with certain of my joints. And obviously there's quite a few essential oils that can assist with that as well, and we'll get to that in a second. What we also need to look at is how essential oils are able to support us emotionally to heal. So fear, insecurities, and anxious feelings can get in the way of making very meaningful connections with people. And if we don't feel connected, we do suffer mentally, and again, it can present in physical attributes in our body. But when we don't feel connected, and I think this is something that was really highlighted during lockdown, our internal dialogue is something that we really need to look at, because the internal dialogue can turn really harsh. So it's all those feelings of, I'm not good enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not capable enough. Oh, I can see hearts coming now. There's obviously a lot of people that are resonating with what I'm saying now. And what about your internal dialogue saying to yourself, but why am I always messing up? These things aren't actually beneficial to you at all, because although we're supposed to have that flight or flight to get stuff done, continuously having the negative thoughts is not going to get you to do things. You're actually going to go more to the side of becoming sedentary and not wanting to take action at all. So almost like apathy. So you just stop caring about everything. So when we speak so unkindly to ourselves, we also avoid connecting with other people, because if we're not kind to ourselves, how are we going to be kind to other people around us? Because we feel really like poo, basically. So we have to change our internal dialogue and make it positive, because this is going to open the door for greater love and connection from our friends and family. And we need that. We need that connection. Even for those of us that are introverts, when we have a lot fewer friends, for instance, than an extrovert, even introverts need good connections with those couple of people that they would like to surround themselves with. So in a world of psychology, and psychologists usually or frequently refer to this term of emotional intelligence. And this was a word that was thrown around quite significantly, especially when I was still working full-time in the science industry or in the fast-moving consumer goods industry, where at that stage it was sort of the in word. So a lot of the people, because we had very high strong jobs, when you were at a certain position in the company, they would do emotional intelligence testing with you. And the reason, I can see more people coming in. Hello, Kobus, I'm just going to wave at you. At that stage, it was becoming apparent that a lot of people were not resilient enough in their stressful positions because they thought their emotional intelligence wasn't at a level that it needed to be. And I was one of those. I kept on being told that you are not emotionally intelligent enough to be handling what is going on around you. And it's actually, there's a lot more to do. Kobus is saying that is braaidag. You are indeed correct. Happy Heritage Day, Kobus. I hope you are having a nice braai with some lamb and definitely some brewed things in a glass or a cup. So the emotional intelligence is a concept that encompasses two abilities. So it's the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions, but it's also the ability of being able to understand how to influence those of the emotions of those people around you, right? And that was obviously a thing, I'd say probably about 15 years ago, where if you were going to life coaching and that kind of thing, that was really prevalent. But it's also now become more prevalent, I actually saw a really good TEDx talk the other day. And more than that, I also posted a post in my Botanica page earlier in the week, that it's not just emotional intelligence, which is actually making your ability to cope with situations around you. It's not just that. So a lot of it's got to do with how we handle rejection and that internal dialogue. But it's more than just emotional intelligence or skill or work ethic. It's resilience. And that resilience is your ability to adapt to a certain situation and turn it into a positive instead of having the continuous negative dialogue that we keep on having with ourselves. So let's start talking about some of these essential oils, because there are various stages that we go through in our life. And I know a lot of my emotional, I would say, struggles, challenges in a month are very much dependent on my stress level, yes. But that is also very heavily affected by what my hormones are doing at that stage in the month, because the stress and the hormones very heavily affect my gut health as well. And all of those things being really connected, that is sort of what I struggle with. And therefore, I know which essential oils to support me through those stages. But we are going to talk about these essential oils more generally today, so you can sort of go and determine where it is that you might find support from essential oils. So doTERRA have a really amazing range called their emotional kit. Not available in South Africa yet, but we do import it from wherever in the world. And this emotional kit is really beneficial because they've actually scientifically gone and determined which of the chemical constituents, when placed together, is going to provide a solution supporting benefit, in other words, for a sort of scenario that you're going through. And if you are not going to be able to get access to these emotional oils, it's no problem. I'm going to be listing these single essential oils to you anyway, so that you can go and make your own blends and start playing around with, because that's the beauty of essential oils. You also need to start thinking about essential oils that the fragrance that really attracts you and makes you feel good. If you don't like lavender, don't use lavender. Okay, unless you've tried, if it's the cheapie that you're purchasing for 20 Rand on a shelf because it's a chemical that they've made in a lab, that's not the lavender that I'm talking about. Please do remember, you can't even buy a lavender plant at a nursery for 80 Rand. That's not what I'm referring to. When you're using pure essential oils and you're actually using or smelling the pure and potent real plant, it's a completely different story. Okay, so let's start looking at this emotional blend range that doTERRA have available. But I'm also then going to tell you which chemical constituents to go and look for, because remember me, all about the science, all about the chemistry, so that you then know what to go and look for and start compiling your own blends together. And maybe you can make sort of a blend that encompasses some of the chemical constituents from various groups of essential oils that is going to be able to support you emotionally, because only you know what you're going through. And that's why my post earlier in the week was so important, because you need to be able to sit down and make time for yourself, that self-care that we keep on talking about, but really analyzing what is going on in your head and those internal conversations that you're having. Because although I'm very good at just shoving it aside, because that's my way to move on, it is not the best way, because then if you're like me, you're probably going to be storing all those emotions in your body, and those aches and pains take months to clear out. Okay, it's not something that you can just take care of in one day. All right, so let's look at the floral essential oils, because they compose primarily of monoterpene alcohols, and therefore they exhibit toning and calming properties. Okay, so that's where the floral oils are going to come in. Trees and herbs and grass essential oils, which I am really fond of. Herbs really just support my body, whether it's head tension, whether there's body aches, discomfort in my joints. Herbs really support my body very well. And this is because they are rich in sesquiterpenes. Those are the bigger molecules that don't necessarily get inside the cells, but they have an interaction, a protein interaction with the receptors on the cells, and then they cause a cascade of chemical reactions, biochemical reactions that take place in the cells, and therefore they have a positive benefit in the body. So the trees and the herbs and the grasses have got these sesquiterpenes, esters and oxides, and they are known to be very grounding, very soothing, and very renewing. Okay, so if you feel like you're getting stuck and you need to renew certain beliefs or your energy to do something, then those are going to be the oils that you need to reach for. On the other end of the spectrum, things like mint and citrus and spice essential oils are very powerful, uplifting essential oils because of, for instance, the limonene that is in there and the other chemical constituents which are in the spices. So mint essential oils are high in concentrations of ketones, which are very energizing and very uplifting. I'm sure you would have noticed when you smell some peppermint or even spearmint. Basil is also from the mint family. All of those are very uplifting because of those ketones that are in high prevalence in these essential oils. Citrus oils are generally composed of limonene, mostly limonene. Some of them have other constituents in there as well. And then also beta-pinene and monoterpenes, which are very strong and uplifting essential oils or characteristics of the essential oils. Phenols, the primary chemical constituents of many spices. So here we're thinking like cassia and cinnamon and clove and nutmeg. All of those nice Christmassy warm feelings, they are recognized specifically for that, their warming properties. So there it is, accessing the limbic brain because it's warm and comforting, but it's actually because of the phenols that are in there. And that's how beautiful chemistry and biochemistry is with these essential oils at supporting certain emotional conditions in the body and then also having an effect on the physical benefits. So let's start looking at some of these essential oils that I'm talking about in this ready-to-use solutions that doTERRA have on offer. Obviously, if you don't have these, you can just go and take some of these single essential oils and blend them together in combinations that you prefer. So let's look at the first one, and this one is called Motivate. It's encouraging, right? And in this encouraging blend, it's citrus, obviously, and mint. And the oils that you need to look at to motivate and to get you going are things like coriander, rosemary, basil, melissa, which is lemon balm, peppermint, clementine or yuzu, and vanilla, because vanilla is really comforting. Okay, so there's a beautiful blend up that you can start using to sort of encourage you to move forward from a situation that you are sitting in. It can also be used to motivate you to do exercise, by the way, because exercise, very good for the feel-good hormones as well. All right, the next one we're going to look at is the uplifting blend, which is called Cheer. Now, this uplifting blend is a very invigorating mix, and it's very sort of spicy sweet because of the citrus and the spice essential oils are in there. And this is a beautiful blend, and I've actually used that blend quite a lot this week. I've had quite a rough emotional week with just personal stuff and what's going on around us in the area that we're living in. But this chia blend is usually associated with when you're feeling a little fearful. That's the right word. And usually also, if you look at Chinese medicine, fear is associated with the areas in your lung, like the colon, the areas in your body, like the lungs and the colon. So probably that fear thing and what I've been experiencing this week, no wonder this chia blend has actually supported me quite nicely. So this chia blend or uplifting blend contains lemon myrtle. Beautiful. I love lemon myrtle. It's like lemon sherbet. Lemon myrtle, nutmeg, star anise, wild orange, ginger, cinnamon, and clove. So you can see a really spicy, citrusy, just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Then we move over to passion, which is an inspiring blend. Okay, now this balances emotions in a sense, but also it's got a lot of spices and herbs in there. So it's more sort of, moving towards the uplifting and the balancing, but again, still having the warming feelings. All right. So the passion is literally there, not just to become passionate about what you're doing. In a lot of instances, the passion is there to, if you, for instance, are struggling to speak to people and you can't make your voice heard, or you just feel frustrated and scared to say things, this passion blend and the essential oils that are in there are really going to be something that you could find support from. So the passion is usually, or the area of the bodies that this is usually associated with is the liver and the gallbladder, if you're looking at Chinese medicine. And things like cardamom, sandalwood, vanilla, jasmine, ginger, cinnamon, clove, and damiana is what actually is in that blend. So you can see it's very spicy, but also there's some sweet notes to it because of the vanilla and the damiana that's in there. So sort of binding everything together. All right, so hopefully you can. I actually found that blend too sweet in the beginning, but I think your body tells you when you need it, because it's sort of, when you first roll that blend onto your skin topically and you take an inhale of it, it is a little bit sweet, but then as some of the aromatic compounds start diffusing, the sort of middle and base notes remain, and it just becomes more and more beautiful the longer you smell it. All right, so the next one we also need to look at is forgiving ourselves and those around us, and that's a very important part of being able to become balanced and become supported wherever you are with your emotions. So in a renewing or a forgiving blend, we usually have things like trees and herbs because they help you to ground, all right, and they help you to move on. So in doTERRA's forgive or renewing blend, we have essential oils of juniper, myrrh, arbor vitae, and nootka, which are essentially cedarwood species, thyme, citronella, spruce, and bergamot. And there's that bergamot that I also posted about earlier in the week, because bergamot is really good at supporting the increased production or secretion, I should rather say, of oxytocin, which is the hugging or the feel-good hormone. All right, so that is if you need to move on and start forgiving and moving forward. If we then start looking at a blend called Console, this is a comforting blend, and there's a lot of us that need a lot of comfort every now and then, especially for me when my hormones are fluctuating in the month. So I usually have 3 blends that I reach for when my hormones start making me feel really sorry for myself. And the first one is our Clary Calm blend, because it's so very geared to supporting the endocrine system. I also find a lot of comfort in the Past Tense blend because my body works so very well with herbs, with all the minted herbs. And then the last one obviously is Console. And this is actually one of those blends that really supported me to a very significant improvement in my emotional state after my father passed away, actually. And I used it as a perfume every single day to just remind me to process what was going on in my mind and to start processing what it was that I needed to make peace with. So this Console blend is comforting, obviously, and it combines floral as well as tree essential oils, and it's got in it the patchouli, one of my absolute favorites. Ylang ylang, also an absolute favorite. Labdanum, amyris, sandalwood, really good one that. Rose, osmanthus, and frankincense. So you can either go reach for that blend if you can have take a hold of that, or go and make your own blend. And usually, because our hormonal system is so very involved with our emotional system and processing and wanting to be consoled, this blend is usually associated with the endocrine system in our bodies as well, because our endocrine system affects every single part of our body, all the organs. All right, and then the last blend we're going to look at today is called the Peace Blend. And Peace is obviously our reassuring blend. So it's a fusion of floral and mint essential oils to make you feel like you're peaceful. That's the reason they chose the word, I suppose. They chose the name like that. But it's almost a seaside smell. So it's a very fresh and seaside kind of smell. So inside this blend, we have lavender, ylang ylang, frankincense, clary sage, marjoram, which I smell quite heavily in that blend, labdanum, spearmint, and vetiver. And let's not forget the power of vetiver. Vetiver is one of those things, the grasses grow so deep in the soil, so it's very grounding. It's also one of those that sort of balances the emotions and just helps you to pull yourself towards yourself. All right, so that was a mouthful of a lot of information, but I do wanted to just bring across to you how very amazing essential oils are in supporting various emotional states that you might be going through in your life right now or during cycles of your month. All right, so if you're not able to get any of these essential oils, I think my last top tip of a blend, I'd say, that's probably going to be able to support all of these various emotional states in a one ready-to-use solution is doTERRA's Adaptive Blend. This blend has really brought me a lot of comfort, and it's one of those that I now very routinely use during the day because I'm a very passionate person, and sometimes I get overly excited and I might scare people off a little bit. And I'm not saying that I'm taking that away, because I still remain passionate, but I'm probably a little bit better equipped to bring across my passion so that it's not aggressive in a sense. Okay, so there I'm going to say that my top essential oil, or my top essential oil blend to support all kinds of emotional conditions, is definitely doTERRA Adaptive. So definitely give that one a try. All right, so for those of you that are already with doTERRA, please go and get some of these oils if you think they are going to benefit you. For those of you that don't have an account yet and you're interested to come to one of my Essential Oil 101 classes, just pop me a comment. I can get you booked into one of those sessions. And then for those of you that stayed right until the end, another freebie today. If you have not yet already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please go and do so. I'll put the link in the comments. So first you need to go and subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. If you share my video today about emotional support to those that you might think, or to people that you might think will benefit from it, please share it to them. And once you've done both of those, come back to this post in my Botanicamy page and just go and write the word done in the comments, and I'm going to be sending you another free ebook on emotional support with essential oils. So thank you so much for all staying on today. I hope you found it useful information. And yeah, remember those 3 things. If you do want to qualify for that free ebook, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this video and then go and pop the comment done in the comments below. Thank you so much. I will see you guys all next week, Thursday, for a brand new something new on my Facebook Lives. Bye-bye.